And I got to find. Are we live, Mickey? Oh, you got to shut the door, Mickey. It's so warm. And I want you to shut the door yet because it's a little warm. Good evening, everyone. I'm going to share to a few groups. Sorry that we are late. We had a little technical difficulties. Give me a second to share to a few groups. And you all share too while you're out there. And shout out to A10 News Media Group, always, and the best producer in the world, Mr. Mickey Jordan. If you like the stories that we bring you in our podcast, our newsroom, we out there in the streets bringing you the real news because we are the real news. Hit that Cash App, $ A10 News Media Group. We always need your support to keep things going. I'm a little late, so I will give everyone a couple of more minutes. Yes, Mr. LeBron, let me share it with some people. Give them time. So I gotta get you tapped into the Facebook world so you can learn how to share too. So next time we go live, then you'll be sitting up here sharing to your Facebook friends too. Sister Audrey, you gotta help him out. Shout out to Sister Audrey in the audience, the leader of the MGT, and the two young brothers here from the nation. We appreciate all of you. About one more minute and we will get started. I promise you. Tap in and share to a friend and then tap back in again because Wyntis Hall is on the air. Please go like, follow, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, A10 News Media Group. And if you haven't, please always go follow and like our 810 News Media Group Facebook page. Well, I got enough people on here, and they will tap in as they see me live. So, today I am having part 2 to my discussion from last week. Last week we had on Pastor Kevin Thompson. Thank you again, Pastor Thompson in the St. Mark Missionary Baptist Church for lending him out to me for an hour last week. We talked about moving forwards in a backwards society. So I thought that it would be only right that I would have on the main man here, Brother LaRon X, student minister and Flint chapter coordinator. Did I get that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can everyone hear him? Because he's so soft spoken. Give me some likes if you can hear him, or if you need him to adjust his mic, we can do that at any time. So, Brother LaRon, again, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much for coming on here.
Thank you for having me.
And tell us a little bit about yourself, because we are just beginning to know you, and we want to get to know you because we favor the Nation of Islam around here. So tell us what's going on in Flint with the nation.
Well, Nation of Islam, as we all know, has always been a beacon of light for the Black community for 100 years.
Mhm.
And so I'm a young brother, grew up in Flint, like everybody else, young Black males, and in the ghettos, and you go through what we go through. And then I came in contact with the teachers of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and it just changed my life. It helped me to see, what I'm saying, the direction in which I needed to go versus the direction I was going.
Right. Hold on just a second, everybody. The man is busy. Got his phone going off here.
Nah, sorry.
That's okay. Here. Comfortable to you. He was fine? Okay, I just wanted to make sure because he sounds so soft spoken to me. Hello, Miss Kathy King, Jaquez Jones, Kevin Tay. Hello, everyone, Miss Horton. And so, I'll let you respond to that.
No, I'm just putting it on silent.
Oh, okay. So go ahead, continue on with.
And so, and in accepting the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, it was the best thing that ever happened to me because it helped me to understand what I need to be doing as a black man, you
Absolutely,
know, and helping to rear up young black males in the black community and also try to be example for young black women,
absolutely,
you know.
absolutely.
So,
Today is a special day.
yes, it is.
Tell us what today is.
Today is the 90th birthday of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Well, happy birthday, Honorable Louis Farrakhan. Listen. We got audience members now. We got a live studio audience.
And one of the things that, is such a blessing because, here's a man that has dedicated his whole entire life to the liberation of our people,
Absolutely.
Unconditionally.
Mm-hmm.
He loved us unconditionally. It don't make a difference, what we are, how we are. It's just he has no condition on the love that he has for us. And he has dedicated his life, his family, and everything to our rise.
Right.
So I love Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan.
Well, that's good. And I'm glad that you love him.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I can't have a religion that I can't enjoy. That's
Yes,
what my
ma'am.
pastor tell me. So listen, I want to have real conversation.
Yes, ma'am.
Real questions, real dialogue. It was nothing scripted. They can see I have nothing wrote down because I wanted this to be an absolute transparent conversation between myself
Yes,
and
ma'am.
Minister Lamont X. So, good evening, Mr. Shumo. Good evening, Mr. Tony. Hello, Mama. Philip, Miss Thompson. I like to say shout outs to all my people on here, all my heart monitors. So, when you talk about the nation and you talk about uh the most honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who has dedicated his whole life for the rise of our people.
That's right.
Now, I want to take this myth off that's hovering over the nation for a lot of people. It's not that you don't like white people. You just want to make sure that black people succeed.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Yes. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, to the contrary of what people think,
Mm-hmm.
He wants the rise of black people, but he is for humanity as a whole. See, I grew up with a mother and a grandmother that didn't believe in racism. They did. If the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan was racist, I could not be with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Okay.
What attracted me to him is his love for black people and his love for humanity as a whole. Okay. So that we in the Nation of Islam, we have not a racist bone in our body. That's so cheap.
Right, and it is. But I'm not ashamed to say it. I think it was a way to keep us divided in the community because growing up in a Baptist church, we were always taught that the nation were militants. They walk around with the afros with the Black Panthers and they gonna get you. I'm serious. That's what we taught, and I just wanted to make sure that we clear that up because our conversations that we've had is nothing like that.
Right. If you look at the picture that we have of Master Farad Muhammad, the one who came and raised up Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he looks like a Caucasian. So
Well, I gotta look at that picture then. Hey Niecy, I see you out there.
so
hey Miss Sonia.
if that was the case, when you look at the picture, you'd be like, oh, he's
I'm gonna have to look that up.
That's totally false.
Right. So back to our subject, our part 2 from last week. It's been so many things happening. I'm not sure how involved you are in city politics, but we're gonna push that over there. Okay? Because I think the answers that you give me over here kind of go into over there. If y'all following me, y'all understand what I'm saying. The topic is moving forward in a backwards society.
Mm-hmm.
It pained my heart today. I took my mother out to lunch today for her pre-Mother's Day luncheon. I love you, Mama. And Mama said it feels like we almost 2 rows from the back of the bus again. That hurt my heart to hear my mother say that because my mama came up through all of that where it was the signs that said coloreds only, whites only, colors enter to the back. My grandmother worked at a house in one of the mansions over there in Woodcroft Estates where my granddaddy, he was told to go around to the back of the house and pick up the women. He didn't listen. He went and pulled up in front of the driveway. And but this is the era that they grew up in. So to hear her say that we're moving backwards, what do you think? What's your take on that? And looking in today's climate.
Um, well, when you look at our youth today, um, there has a gap has ensued between the elders and the youth,
Mm-hmm.
and so in the Bible it said that the youth are for war and the elders are for counsel.
Mm-hmm.
But today, a lot of the youth are not accepting the counsel of the elders,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's why we have this, big gap, and that's why we have this look of the youth like we're going backwards,
Right.
and and it starts at home. Discipline. You go to the school, and the school is just chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have been up to the school, and it's just chaotic. The children are in the hallways. They're undisciplined,
Mm-hmm.
and then they come into the school, and teachers have to deal with undisciplined children.
Right.
And if we expect the children to change the way they conduct themselves, then us adults, we have to change the way we conduct ourselves. We
Mm-hmm.
can't go to schools and shoot another parent because we have a disagreement.
Right.
Because what is that going to show the children
Right.
in reference to handling their situations?
Absolutely.
Well, my mom just shot your moms, and that's how we deal. You
Mm-hmm.
had other children that saw that.
Right.
You had the parents, children saw that.
That was just this past week in Flint, wasn't it?
Yes, it was last week, I believe.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
and if you got children seeing this kind of conduct coming from adults,
Mm-hmm.
then we have a serious problem.
We do.
You know.
We do. And I went to the school board meeting last night. And in part of the speech that I delivered to them, I said we always want to throw out that one Bible verse we know: train up a child in the way they should go, so when they get old, they won't depart from it. But then we kick our youth down. We downplay them, and to me, in my opinion, and we can have a serious debate on
Mhm.
this. It seems like they're reaching out for help. They're doing these things because they don't know what they're lost. I call it, as Pastor Hill would say, a lost generation. What do we do? How do we pull our children back in?
Um, we we got to sit down and we got to have dialogue with them, and we got to be willing to hear, and they have to be willing to listen.
That's true.
And that's one of the things, because I was 15 before,
Hmm.
so I can give you guidance on what it's like to be 15.
Right,
You
right,
follow what I'm
right.
saying?
Absolutely,
Don't take
absolutely.
me as I don't know what's going on, because I was 15
Right.
before.
I was once your age.
And
Right.
even though times are different,
Hmm.
what's going on is still the same.
Right.
You know,
Same game,
yeah,
different players.
that's it. And
Right.
so it's one of the things I used to tell my son. I said, son, you see that field? I said, it's mines out there.
Mm.
And when I tell you to step to the left, step to the right, take 5 steps forward, to the left, to the right, I know, because I have blown myself up on every last one of them.
Wow,
So
that's a
I
good
know
one.
exactly where they're
Right.
at. You know what
Hmm.
I mean?
Right.
So you can take this guidance
Hmm.
and implement it in your life
Hmm.
and use it
Right.
to get you
Absolutely.
through, life.
Hmm.
But if you disregard the guidance, then you pretty much have to go through that same old experience. It's like we didn't accomplish anything.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
But
Like that.
sometimes our children, and I don't mean to cut you off.
No, no,
This is
go
just
ahead.
a conversation that we're having. Sometimes our children, I feel like we gotta let them bump their heads sometimes because that's the way that they get their experience.
Mhm.
But then again, I say, Lord, please just let them listen so we can save them from that bruise upside their head. Because I done had bruises on my head. My mama on here don't get the type of mama, but she'll tell you I was hard headed. I wouldn't listen to anybody. And somebody else can come along and tell me the same thing that my mama was trying to tell me to move 5 steps to the left, and I'm going to the right. And they'll say, well, Wyntis, move 5 steps to the left, and then I move to the left. It's like we don't want to listen to the people who have been there where they're trying to go.
Um, and I just think a lot of times it's just they just don't understand that they think that we just popped up grown, you know, like Shazam.
Mm-hmm.
They don't understand that it was a situation that transpired with my mother. I had never in my life seen my mother dance. Never,
Really?
never in my life.
Okay.
And so we was doing a
Was this
surprise.
recently?
This was a few years ago.
Okay,
And we
okay.
did a surprise birthday party for my sister. And so in that, my mother was called out, and my mother went dance. And as a boy, I'm looking like,
Is that my mama?
you know, I never saw my mother dance in my entire life of living. And I
Okay.
saw her for the first time dance.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, Mama, I didn't know you could dance. And she said, yeah, I was once a teenager. I
Right.
was once. And, you know, you laugh. But she said, when I had you,
Mm-hmm.
playtime was over.
Absolutely. That's the
You
same
know,
thing that my mother told me.
responsibility.
And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just still
No.
sharing the groups. But my mother told me the same thing too. She said, when I had you, it was time for me to sit down. She couldn't see herself going to the clubs with her daughter. And we have went out together, but as far as partying together as mother and daughter, no. That again, what goes back to what you're saying about it starts at home. Because we have and we cannot, I will never look down on any young girl. I don't care how old they are or how young they are for having a child, because I got 2 babies at home. I don't know what's going to happen, in the future. So don't take this as I'm looking down on somebody that's a
Right.
teen mom. But if you're a teen mom, it comes with different responsibilities. You have to mother that child. You cannot be a friend to your child. And I think that's missing because they don't know how to mother the child. We got a lot of programs, a lot of activities out here for the children, but we don't have anything out here to help the adults in life.
Right.
So what's your response to that?
A lot of the adults, you know, it's just like with my mother. You know, I didn't get that opportunity to see my mother in the club or skating or whatnot because she bought into her responsibility as a mother.
Mm-hmm.
Today we have a lot of parents, they still go to the clubs, some of them in the clubs with their children.
Yeah.
So what happens is familiarity breeds contempt. You know what I'm saying? So
Say that again.
familiarity breeds contempt.
Okay.
So what
Okay.
happens is if there is a breakdown of the authority
Mm-hmm.
to where you familiar with me, then you'll treat me as your friend rather than authoritative figure.
That's true.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if we
I'm
friends,
thinking about what you're saying. Like, okay.
see, it's just like with my mother, she never allowed me to cross them lines.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't going to be able to joke with my mother. You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
And she kept that right there. So it wasn't a fear factor, but it was a respect factor. You follow
Right.
what I
Right.
couldn't go to my mother and talk about a relation, ship or some weed or some, you know what I mean? That's just the
Mm-hmm.
type of stuff that, I ain't gonna
Right.
talk about that. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
But today it's just wide open.
It is.
You
It
know?
is. A lot of people don't understand. Like, even some of the people that I'm close to. Like, my mother is. Oh, Mama, how old are you? I would say 78. I hope I'm right. I can't remember, but she's 78, almost 80, and I still fear my mother. I think I told you that.
Yeah.
Like, I still fear my mother. And it's not like, oh, I'm scared she gonna beat me, but I still respect her.
Yes.
She's always been my friend.
Yes.
She's always been my best friend. But it's not, I would never do what I see some of these kids doing today. Passing the blunt to my mama. Mm-mm. That's not the type of friend that she was.
Absolutely not.
That's what we're missing in today's society.
That's right.
And they try to destroy the family. I think they're doing a mighty good job of it.
It's just like, Satan is doing his job, and the people that are, we say we're God fearing, we say we, for the community,
Mm-hmm.
we have to step up ours because
Right.
Satan is doing his job.
Right. No, you're
He's
right.
working overtime, so we have to work overtime and double time
Mm-hmm.
to, turn this thing around. Our youth is our future.
Right.
And I look at them and they don't understand how great they are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they got the potential to be, so great because of the this is like the information era.
Right.
They can go, we didn't have this
Right. We sure did.
where you can go and Google brain surgery or how to give birth.
Mhm.
We didn't have that kind of, you know what I mean? And
Well,
I
a lot of stuff we
always
did, I always thank
tell
God we didn't have it.
the child that I'm responsible for, he says something, I said, go Google it.
Oh, okay.
You always asking me
Right.
stuff like that. Go Google that.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Look it up.
Yeah, because if you asking me something that you want to know, I'm trying to put into his head, utilize your time to Google the right thing. See, you get on Google and YouTube and clown around, and then you want to come ask me the serious questions.
Right.
Okay, well, you had it in your hand. All you got to do is Google it,
Mhm.
and then we can dialogue from there.
Right.
But if you get the opportunity, you don't want to Google it.
Right.
I'm gonna play on this thing.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
that's what I be talking about. They got it right there at their fingertips.
Now, what about? I know you say, I've heard you say in our couple of our conversations, meeting people where they are. We gotta go out there, and the people not gonna come to us.
No.
We gotta go out there in the streets with them. How? What do you do? How do you make that happen? You can't just walk up to somebody and start preaching to them and telling them about the goodness of the Lord or the goodness of the nation. Like, how do you go and capture this lost young person? What would be your approach?
Um, just first of all, just greet them.
Just greet them.
Greet them. How you doing, brother? How you doing, sister? You know what I mean? And whatever they say, just be quiet and listen to them.
Mm-hmm.
If they want to vent, let them vent. And when they get done venting, you try to administer them solutions to their problems. Because we're servants.
Right.
We're servants to them. So we have to hear them. And then when we hear them, we have to start to begin to give them a prescription for their illness.
Mm.
But we got to hear them.
Right.
You can't just go preaching to them. Yeah, how you doing, brother? How you
Mhm.
doing, sister? What's wrong? Talk to me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you let them vent.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're there for. We're there to let them vent, and then okay, let's see if we can get some solutions, to the problem. And don't leave them. Come back to them.
Right.
And then that's when they'll know, like, okay, there's some hope.
Right.
You know what I mean? They came back. They're about their word. So
Right.
that's what we have to do. Politicians, religious leaders, churches, mosques. We got to go to the community.
And see that's what I wanted to go into next. We got a discord between our faith leadership. How come the Nation of Islam can't sit down with the Church of God in Christ? They can't sit down with the Lutherans and the Catholics? And if we all trying to get to that same place where we can be sustain our own,
Mm-hmm.
why can't we all come together?
Well, because I think a lot of times, Sister Wyntis,
I feel important. He said, Sister Wyntis.
no, serious.
Really?
The people are so important. And when we understand that they are so important, we can put our little petty differences to the side because the ultimate goal is to serve and help them. That's why we in this, to serve and help them. So whatever petty differences that me and you have, we got one common goal. We say that we want to help liberate the people in the community. So my difference, hey, I can throw that to the side. Let's go. Let's get to work. You know what I
But
mean?
brother LeBron, I mean, we gonna get real. We gonna cross this bridge right now. Everybody in the city want a title. Everybody want to help, but they want to be the head of that organization. I want to help, but I want to run this. We got too many chiefs and not enough Indians. I don't even know if I can sit up here and honestly look you in your eyes and say that it's hope for us because I don't feel that hope right now.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing is what people have to understand with being the chief,
Hmm.
that means you have to be a better servant.
That's a good one.
If
That's a
if
good
you
one.
want to be at the top, you have to be a better servant. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? That only gives you the ability to be able to do more in serving the people.
Hmm.
Yo, every thought, because see, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is an example for us in the Nation of Islam. His every thought, his every being, everything he do is for the liberation and salvation of his people. I mean, when he sit down on his free time, he's still working for the liberation and salvation of the people. So if you want to be the chief,
Right.
you got to be the top servant.
Hmm.
Nobody carrying your bags. That's not what this is about. I don't know if you familiar with Che Guevara, the Cuban revolutionary.
No, no, but please
Okay,
tell me.
well, he was in the revolution with Castro,
Okay.
and he was very popular. A lot of times you see him in a picture with a beret on.
Okay.
The Cuban brother, you probably
Okay.
seen the image with the
I
hair with the
think
beret.
so. I think
Okay,
so.
well, they show footage of him. He was in the trenches. He's the general, but
Mhm.
he's in the trenches digging with the soldiers. So if you came up to that scene, you wouldn't be able to tell who was the general because he was in the ditch digging, getting mud on him with the soldiers.
Hmm. And that's what the Chiefs need to do.
The
Get
chief,
out there and do the work.
the first one to get shot is going to be the chief.
I don't want to be no chief.
But
But I
see,
understand what you
people
said.
want to be the chief because of what they think of benefits
Right.
and I'll just
Right.
to say this, but when you the chief, you got to be out there.
You supposed to be the head.
Oh yeah, you
And my
got to be
brother
out there.
Tony, he always tell me that like, where's the chief for this one? And I don't want my sister out there. You not the chief. I take offense to it, but since you just broke it down to me, I really understand what you're saying. Like the chief needs to be on the front lines.
That's right.
Don't ask. And like I tell my people at work, I'm not gonna ask you anything to do that I wouldn't do myself. Oh, he has me looking now. I cannot see. Okay. Um, yes, please, Trevor. Yeah, you okay with taking questions?
Yes, I have no
Okay.
problem. From Mr. Harold Timberlake.
Okay, Minister Harold Timberlake. Okay.
Dear brother, are you working with any other faith leaders in Flint? Yeah. Do you mind naming them? Pastor Hawkins. I have a relationship with Reverend Aldrich. And it goes on and on and on. My doors are open to anyone.
Okay. That's good. That's good. So it doesn't when I hear you say different names and talking to you, and you know how we say feeling each other out, you don't really care about this side or that side. I done already got that vibe from you. You just want what's right for the people. You're not about no foolishness. Don't come to you with no foolishness because you're not for that.
See, this is the thing. Sometimes it hurts because we see our youth in the street
Hmm.
dying, senseless murders, and
Right.
what and that stuff hurt because it's predominantly black people. And
Right.
by me being a black man, it hurts.
Hmm.
Follow what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
we have to come together and put our egos to the side. It's just like we know that our youth are dying, and a lot of the youth are coming to them funerals. I want to go to the funerals because I want to address the youth because of this senseless homicide, fratricide, suicide. We got to stop it. You know what I mean? And we got to come to the table and really get busy. See, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he blazed the trail and he's 90. It's like it's time for us to step up, because we're elders now. We have that mantle and we're going into, 50, 60, 70. So we got work to do before we reach that point to where it's time for us to sit down. But when we sit down, we want to say, man, I ran a good race.
Right.
You
Job
follow
well
what I'm
done.
saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Trevor, we got more questions up there? Okay. So I can keep going. When I think about the Eric Mays frenzy, I know you've heard about it. All of America has heard about it, the Eric Mays frenzy. I think that's something that we could turn into a positive for our city.
Mhm.
If you were Eric Mays, what would you be doing with the platform that you got now? If you had the nation's ear, oh, I like that. If you had the nation's ear, what message would you put out there about Flint, Michigan?
Man, let me tell you something. Flint is a beautiful place, and we're beautiful people. We hard. You know what I'm saying? That's why I
Right.
say Flint Stone.
Mhm.
I mean, we hard, and we can go anywhere and survive. And so I think that when you look at Eric Mays, I like that brother.
Mhm.
Eric Mays, he raises some very good questions, and I think those questions should be answered.
Mhm.
I think like, being in Flint, and I drive in Flint, and you trying to dodge all these potholes. It's like,
Oh,
man.
craters.
And so one of the times my brother Eric Mays said, didn't we give someone $11 million?
Yep.
Well, why we still got all these potholes in the city?
Mhm.
And he said somebody should be investigated. And see, the people of the city of Flint, we have taken a lot. And it's incumbent upon the politicians, to keep their word to the people of the city of Flint, because the people of the city of Flint have kept their words to the politicians.
That's right.
You know what I'm
That's right.
saying?
That's
So
right.
I think that the people's, faith in them, it should be quenched with substance.
Mhm. Mhm.
The talk has to stop.
Mhm.
So when you look at Eric Mays, I think that he should continue to, do as he's doing. You got a lot of people that like Eric Mays. I
A
like the
whole lot
brother.
of people, right?
And we can use that to get some things done for the people in the city of Flint,
Yeah, we could. So
because it's about the people.
it's about the people. I know it's about the people. But everybody that say they for the people, they not for the people. We didn't experience that. We didn't been down that line. We have had people that come to us and say we gonna do this, we gonna do that, we gonna do this, and we gonna do that, and they did nothing. 9 years later, Brother Laron, we still in this water crisis.
Um, you know what I think? I think this is a time of people holding people accountable. So I believe that the people in the city of Flint, when they vote for someone to do something, I think they should give them a good 90 days. And if you ain't kept your end on some of your promises just as fast as the people of Flint voted them in,
They should
they should
vote them
vote
out.
them right back out.
Right, like a 90-day probationary
Yeah,
period.
just no, play no games, because the people of the city of Flint, man, we are very good people, man. I love the
Mhm.
people in the city of Flint.
Mhm.
And we shouldn't, accept this type of conduct.
We
If
shouldn't.
you say that you're gonna do this, you say that you're gonna do that, then
Mhm.
do it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I've been going to council meetings lately. I used to go all the time, and then I stopped going. Because we get comfortable watching stuff like you said on this little phone. So I've been going down there. I've been speaking out, going to different meetings, and I asked for. I'm just starting off for 200 people to come on May 22nd. I'm not asking for people to come and tear up nothing, because here at A10 News Media Group, we do not promote any type of violence. Let's get that let's get that out there and clear. because it's already been put out, insurrectionists and they coming to tear up. No, we're not. We're not asking for people to come do anything violent. But what I'm asking is for people to come and pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
If one person can just see through the madness and the mess that's going on, I think I've accomplished my job. I'm asking you to come May 22nd if you're not busy.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm asking Sister Audrey to come May 22nd if she's not busy. And bring people with you, because we got people on there like Councilwoman Tanya Burns, Councilwoman Winfrey Carter, Councilman Eric Mays. They can't do it by themselves. They need help. And I'm not saying that if we get 1,000 people, we can't go up there and change the votes, but I think that we can change the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
We got to stop putting people in positions that they look like us, but they don't represent us.
Right.
How dare you do for another side of town, but not take care of home? That's like going and paying my neighbor's consumer's bill, but I'm not going to pay my own.
Right.
It makes absolutely no sense to me. What do you think about a lot of our local leaders on that co-equal branch, what I call city council? And I don't want you to individually name anybody, because I don't want to put you in that position. Right. The council as a whole.
I just think that they need to get more focused on the agenda of the people.
Okay.
And put when they walk through the doors, whatever going on with them personally, individually, they need to leave it out the doors and come in and deal for the people, because they came to the community, to the churches, and they told the people what they were going to do and this, and vote for me and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this. So when you come into those halls, sit down and move the agenda of the people. So whatever your personal gripe with this one is, that one is, leave it outside and come in and work for the people. This is what we doing. Right. Me as a coordinator, a student minister, and I'm Ms. Louis Farrakhan, when I accept this, I'm accepting his mission. He loved the people. So I have to grow into that same love for the people. I serve the people.
Right.
So if a brother and sister call me, want to talk, I have to talk.
Right.
Because I'm a servant for them.
Right.
So it's not no like, well, hey, look, brother, I'm sorry, I can't. No, I got to make time to talk, because I might not be able to, talk to them tomorrow.
Absolutely.
It may be too much. They
Absolutely.
may decide they want to take themselves out. So you got to answer the call. So with these politicians, man, you have to keep your word to the people. So leave that stuff outside. When you come in there, take care of the agenda of the people. You promised them.
Yeah.
You promised them.
But a lot of them can't do it. And I don't understand why. Like, as adults, I can sit here right next to you and not like you personally, but that shouldn't stop us from moving together forward for the people.
That's right.
But they can't separate the two. They can't separate personalities and politics. And I don't know why. And Sister Audrey, she's been down there so many times and she's seen all of it. She's been in it. And it's so much discord between us. And when I say us right now, I'm talking about Black people. And I feel like we spend so much time fighting us until our focus have shifted. Mm-hmm. And while our focus is shifted on fighting one another, the money keep going over our heads, right? Because we distracted down here, right, and they moving money up here. What's your thoughts on that?
And a lot of times, that stuff is intentional. Mm-hmm. It's intentional.
You're right about that.
And but a lot of times people can't keep the focus to like, okay, this is bigger than me. Mm-hmm. Whatever my little ego, my problem is, I deal with that, but I'm here representing the people.
Right.
You know Absolutely. What I mean? So I have to leave my ego outside. And ego, pretty much me edge God out. Mm-hmm. So, when we talk about the people, and that's another thing, that if we say, a lot of people say that we believe in God, we're for God. Well, if you for God, the only way you can show God that you truly a servant of His is take care of people.
That's true. That's very true.
You know,
Everything you say, it always leads back to taking care of the people.
that's what we doing this for.
I mean, everything. Look, I got people texting me to ask you questions and all this type of stuff. Okay, so I want to read this. So it looks like Minister Timberlake. He's asking a question. What's your number one focus? What's your number two focus? Number three, and so on. So let me just wrap this up for him. If you had three things that you could work on in the city of Flint, what would those things be?
Um, First, the violence. Getting to the youth to try to help them understand how great they are and how important they are in us moving forward because they're our future. You know what I mean?
You're right.
So that's number one. Just the killing. We gotta work with them. Get to them to stop the killing. You know what I mean? Because the scriptures say, "Will a man rob God? Yet ye have already robbed me." So when you take a life that's not yours, you didn't give it. Except in self-defense, you can defend yourself. But when you taking life and you didn't give that life, you robbing God. So we got to stop the robbery of God. We got to stop this violence. All of us, pastors, we got to come in one big conglomerate, and we got to deal with the violence of our youth. We got to come together, and we got to have rallies in the city all summer long to deal with our youth and curb the violence.
And not just when something happened.
No.
And that's what
you got to be proactive.
Right.
Man, you got mothers in the front row crying.
Yeah.
They burying their babies behind nonsense.
Yeah. And not one, we two at a time sometimes.
And then we get up and we use that time to ask people to join. I want to ask you to join. We need this violence to stop.
And you're so passionate when you say that. And you passionate when you say that. And we do need to stop the violence.
Because we're killing. When a black man die, that's me dying.
I never heard anybody say that before.
That's me. You know what I'm saying? That's me. Because I'm now 51. And as you get older, well, that child that died, he's supposed to carry on the legacy. You follow what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So if he died, that's cutting my tree down. You know what I mean?
Right. One of the branches on my tree is
gone. We got to stop this.
Right.
We got to stop this. You know what I mean?
But we got to reach the youth.
Yes.
We got to focus on the people.
It's very important.
We got to hold our elected officials accountable. These are all things that we know we have to do, and we have to start doing it.
And then number two is our females. We have to protect them better, and we have to teach them because they very important because they are the producers of our nation. So she the second self of God. So we got to get to her. You know what I'm saying, to show her importance. Because if we can get to her, then the boys, the men, they'll follow.
I know, but sometimes I didn't want to go here. Sometimes men will beat a woman down, not physically, but verbally, mentally. And I think that's why we see that shift in society where women are trying to take on that stronger lead because we're tired of being belittled by men. And it's from men that are supposed to protect us.
Yes. One of the things that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, he said that the black man has totally been destroyed and is not fit for himself. So we got to rebuild the black man all over again because he don't even understand. He's we're destroyed. So this is why it's so important with the Nation of Islam. We have the FOI because we have a class that's actively building us. You know what I mean? Making us responsible to our wife, making us responsible to our family, helping us to be that man. You come to a class and they teach, brother, you got to get a job. Brother, you got to be responsible. Brother, you know what I mean? We need that. And a lot of these boys out here don't have father, because I didn't have my father. I didn't have a father growing up, to teach me how to, be a man.
So your mama had to take on that
Yes.
strong role.
My mother, my grandmother. So, it's I have to now change the narrative. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Have to be like, okay, wasn't no man there for me, but now I have to be there for, the youth,
Right.
young boys.
Right.
Got to be there for them.
And then we also have, and if you don't mind, can I just invite Sister Audrey to the table, please?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Sister Audrey, just come up here for a second because while he's yes.
Before you dive into another subject, we do have a religious question.
Sure, let's get that religious question.
So, coming from Mr. Fast Eddie,
Uh-huh.
speaking of God, who are the Gentiles?
That they always gonna go with something. You want to talk about
going to go off the wall, but you're the man with the knowledge. I told them to ask their questions because you're giving it away for free.
Well,
if you feel comfortable, you don't have to feel answer anything you don't want to on my
you
show.
don't want to, or if you feel that might be a slippery slope or a slide that
Listen,
he's doing
this is
something,
my show. I'll call the
then
shots.
you don't want to.
well, when you look at Gentiles, um, that term is a term from yesterday, 2,000 years ago. But when you look at today, the Gentiles can be considered anybody that opposes God.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? That's on
There
the
you go.
opposite side of the creator. So we're not going to get off into just saying that's the Gentiles, pointing out to a particular, group of people or whatnot. So,
Fast Eddie, he's smart, baby.
anybody can be
You're
that.
not gonna play us today. He's a good one. He thinks quick on his feet and he knows what he's talking about. But I wanted to bring Sister Audrey to the table. Getting back on subject because you got to talk about the women.
Mhm.
That was your second point of reaching the women. Sister Audrey over to the MGT. Yes, ma'am. In Flint. Thank you for coming. Thank you for arranging all of this. Yes. Our young women today, I went to the Glorilla. I went to the Glorilla concert. Yes, Jesus know I went. Now the minister LeBron know I went. Yes, ma'am. And what I seen there was women felt like they had to show more of their body to get the attention that they wanted instead of their mind. Yes, ma'am. And we have as a society, men, not you, but you know what I'm saying. The men have said we have to look a certain way. Our butts have to be this big. Things like this have to happen. And now they done flipped on us and said we want a natural woman. Yes, ma'am. How do you reach the young girls to give them more self confidence? Oh wow! First you have because you got daughters. Yes, I have daughters. First you have to teach them to love themselves. It goes right to that natural love for themselves. Once they learn how to love themselves, truly love themselves. A lot of times you'll see them say, "I do love myself." That's why I show my body because I'm comfortable with my body. Yes. Be comfortable with that, but be true to yourself. Save your body and your virtue is for your husband. It's not for anybody else to do it. If you go back and you look, and we don't want to, like you say, sometimes you have to approach the children, the young women. You can't approach them necessarily from the religious standpoint, right? Because some of us are not there right now. Right. We don't want to hear that. Right. But just that natural love for yourself. A lot of us don't know covering yourself up is actually a protection from the sun. It's protecting you from getting cancers. So I could just tell you the outfit that I have on, and I have to throw the plug in to modest.com. I thank Allah for our national MGT instructors, Sister Captain Naima in Chicago, because she came up with the concept of giving us clothing that we can wear and be comfortable in. I went on vacation, and everything in my suitcase honestly was the modest. From the outfit like what I have on now to the sweatsuit. I got compliments from men and women, all colors, all races, all nationalities.
They looked at me and said, "You look good. You got the hat, the whole outfit." I'm like, "Yes, it's the
You know,
minus
I
30 pounds."
compliment you too. I was
And
like,
so-
look at you, yeah.
And I was in Miami, yes, with the long sleeves on. But guess what? I wasn't hot. I wasn't no hotter in this than the women out there in the shorts, the tank tops, or hardly no clothes on. So don't believe. No.
No, I'm
This
just
is
saying.
my friend right here.
Right, no, look,
So don't
I ain't
believe
covered
that
up.
that's the reason why you have to do it, because we just so hot. I hear people, they have the joke about the brothers being out in the suits in the heat.
Right.
Don't y'all
Right.
got a short outfit or something? We heard those jokes. But seriously, you have to think about yourself. Think about what's love. Do you really love yourself having somebody just constantly gawking over you? That's not love. That's lust.
Oh, okay.
And it's not going to, in the end, when you get through, and I don't want to really have to go there, but when you get through having whatever, your sex or whatever, how do you feel when you get through? Because you trying to figure out if he going to call you again.
Ha, girl, listen.
We not going to go all the way there.
We got to go to another show.
But you're trying to figure out if you're going to have that real commitment. And is he going to call me tomorrow or the next day? Sometimes you may, depending on, but sometimes you won't.
Right.
More than likely you won't. And then what level of respect will he actually have for you after that happens?
Because don't nobody want somebody that everybody done had.
Right.
Everybody done seen what I got. Am I right? It's just, but we're lost. Our women are lost too.
So look, I'm just going to say it. I got my nails done. Okay, you know what I'm saying? You got yours done. So don't think because we Muslim, we don't do this kind of stuff and take care of ourselves. We love ourselves. We go get massages. We go get our feet done. We get our hair done. A lot of us, you see us with the headpiece covering our head. But when them sisters go into the beauty salon, they get their hair fully done, and then they go back to themselves, which is putting their headpiece on, covering their head.
And see, Sister Audrey, you saying a lot of things, and Brother LaRon, both of y'all saying a lot of things that I have been trying to show.
Yes, ma'am.
I always say what I say. I'm half hood and I'm half holy. Try Jesus, don't try me. But God knows what I'm gonna do tomorrow. He know what I did yesterday. I can't hide from him, so I don't need validation from nobody down here on earth. It's okay to have fun in a respectful way, as long as don't nobody see me out just falling all over, drunk, whoring around, all that type of stuff. I can have fun and still go to church too.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not going to play like I'm just the best Christian in the world, because every day I'm struggling to be better than I was yesterday. You know, I just have, some things I say, Sister Audrey, I shouldn't say, but I do.
I'm sorry I pull you into that.
All the time you do.
I do.
Brother LaRon, your third point that I wanted you to make. The third thing that you said we had to reach. First one was the men, our young men, the address the violence. The second one was reaching our women. The third thing.
The third thing is just the community. Getting out to the community as a whole. That's the community. The community. That's the community. We got to get out there to the community. We got to pull it together. You know what I mean? We got the male, the female. Now we got the community. We got to pull all that together. The elders. We got to bridge that gap. You know what I mean? And when we do that, man, we can move forward.
And see, and that's why I wanted to show
this. Because we got the male, the female, the community.
This is why I wanted to show this. We got the sister, we got the minister, and then we got the princess. But you see what I'm saying? We're all here together.
Yes,
and we all are supposed to be fighting the same fight, and that is for the people. Right? Am I right? And I'm excited because of the new direction that the Nation of Islam is going in the city of Flint. Brother LaRon, can you give us some more details? Where are you guys located at?
We're located on DuPont and Stevenson. It's the old Prince of Peace. That's
okay. So the old Pastor Hawkins Church.
1417 Stevenson.
Yep.
1417 Stevenson. You guys.
And I did put it in the comments.
Okay. Good. 1417. Okay, so it's not church services, it's meetings. What time do you guys meet?
We meet I'll let Brother LeBron.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
yes,
okay.
sir.
I'm trying to give him this.
Yes, Brother LeBron.
We meet Mondays. We have our FOI class. That's for training of the men.
Okay.
That's from 7:30 9 o'clock.
Now, is it open to the public? If like somebody just
Yes,
wants to come
yes,
in.
We
Okay.
have a processing that brothers can come to.
Okay.
And also we have our Wednesday class,
Okay.
which is we go over literature. What I'm saying, from non-Muslims for our Nation Islam. Is I'm gonna tell you, this is the best therapy. It's almost like a therapy session.
Okay.
Because we sit in a circle. Ain't no big eyes and little U's. We're in a circle, and we're vibing off of the word of God. You follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And this is it's therapy. Serious. And that's Wednesday from 7:30 to 9 o'clock. And then Friday, the same thing. We sitting down in a circle and we're going over the word of God, hearing from everybody. Everybody has input. There's no right or wrong answer, but we're vibing off of the word, and it's very therapeutic, and that is from 7:30 to 9 o'clock.
Okay.
And then Saturday, of course, we got that mighty MGT class.
Oh, yes. That's for the women.
That's the women's class.
Okay.
And we meet, and just like them, it is open to anyone because we have an orientation processing class which you can get into, and you'll learn more about our processes and our way, more about the nation, and you learn about it from the sister's perspective.
So if I necessarily don't want, because okay, I'm Baptist, I'm not leaving Mount Pisgah, but if I want to come and just see what it's about and just I can still come too. I won't get turned away.
There's no obligation.
Okay.
That's why we have it at orientation, call it orientation, because we want to orient you to what it is. And then you get the chance to make that choice and decision if you want to take the next step, which is considered to be processing, and that takes you further into becoming a registered Muslim.
Okay. But just knowing some of the, like you said, just simple things like drinking out of a can, or just like I want to learn more about the herbs and stuff like that.
I'm joke with you. Ask Brother Mickey.
Yeah, we don't know where Brother Mickey is, the greatest producer in the world. Right. He's at another meeting. But what is? Oh, Pastor Kevin Thompson said, "Welcome to DuPont, brother." That's from the St. Mark Missionary Baptist Church, Pastor Thompson.
Tell the brother thank you.
He said, thank you, Pastor Thompson. I love Pastor Thompson. Shardy, hey, Shardy. Tony Roy, shouts out to you too, Brother Martin. Shubo, Fast Eddie. I'm trying to get everybody on here. Brother LaRon, it was one more question that I had for you. Stay with me now. 5 years from now, 2 questions. The first question is, where do you see the city of Flint as a whole? And where do you see the Nation of Islam? 5 years. What's the vision?
Well, what we would like to see in the city is we would like to see, black people become economically strong. There's a lot of business going on in the city, and I feel like black people are being held out, and I like to see black people included in that.
Okay.
Because these are our communities. We have a lot of people profiting in our communities, but not us.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to see our communities cleaned up. You go to Grand Blanc, you go to Flushing, you don't see dead dogs on the side of the road. You don't see abandoned houses with the boards down. You don't even see boards.
You don't see
and
boards.
then it's just like the other day I rode through the community and I saw where they had a big billboard advertising edibles and marijuana and whatnot. See, okay, they got these dispensaries, but I don't like the fact that it's advertising in our community, because you go to Grand Blanc, you're not going to see a billboard talking about you can get this edible and this and that and marijuana. You're just not going to see it. So I would like to see us, get respectability in our community. And as far as the Nation of Islam, in the next, 5 years or so, and it's no disrespect to no one, we're going to be the beck and light, what I'm saying, here in the city for our people.
Okay.
We're going to push the movement forward.
Okay.
You follow what I'm saying?
I understand.
We getting in the ring, ding, ding, we going to fight,
Okay.
and That's just what
Ring,
it.
ding, ding. He said,
That's what it is, because when it come down to the people,
absolutely.
you got to be willing to die for the people.
Mhm.
Because the people is what's important. So we want to change the narrative in the city, and we want the black, youth, and then when we get black people together, then we want to deal with the poor whites. We want to get them, because they're part of this too.
Mhm.
So, we universal. We ain't but it's just that we have to deal with our people first.
Absolutely.
And then after we get our people up and going, then
Then
we
we can help
extend out
somebody else.
to
Right.
everybody else.
Right.
You follow what
Absolutely.
I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You clean up your own backyard, then you can help somebody else
Those
clean
the
up theirs.
old gospel song. Sweep around your own front
That's
door
right.
before you go sweep around mine.
That's right.
And that's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do. Um, at a grow house next door, he said, yeah, they I think they pushed this stuff in Flint. And I know I was supposed to end that up. That was gonna be our ending moment, but you brought it up. I didn't. They pushed this marijuana and all this stuff in Flint because we don't demand respect.
No, we don't.
We let them do anything to us. I stay in Grand Blanc. Everybody know that. It's not one marijuana facility out there. If it is, it's hidden, and I can't. I don't know where it is. Seriously.
Sister, on Pearson Road, they have 3 dispensaries right in walking distance of each other. They got one next to Red Lobster.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
They got one across the street, the old Bob Evans. And they're building one with next the old gas station that was right there, right across.
That's gonna be a
Bob.
weed, another
Yes.
weed spot.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So it's 3 dispensaries right there, immediate in black community. And see, and what black people have to understand, there's a book by one of our great scholars, Dr. Wesley Muhammad, called The Plot Pot. You know what I'm saying?
What's the name of the book
The
again?
Pot Plot.
The Pot Plot. Okay.
And what that marijuana does to you. So I will get you the information for that book,
Mhm.
and we can, have our youngsters to start looking at this. This is not an accident.
No, brother Shumo, I want to read this comment. He said, "Isn't it ironic that black folks was always portrayed as selling drugs, and look who has all the damn dispensaries."
Yes.
Didn't mean to cuss, but
Right.
in front of you, but
Right.
look at that. You go down Door Highway, it's dispensary after dispensary after dispensary. But they said, oh, but the cities are profiting over it. But then I sat down and I talked to Trevor about it, and Trevor said, we get about this much money. Because it's split up between everybody, right, Trevor? And this what you said, something like that? You gotta get this voice together.
Yeah, because I don't have the mic on over here. So the state mandated a law that only the state can put sales tax on a marijuana dispensary and grow houses. They then take a large part of that, most of it, about 80%, throw it to the state general fund. The remaining 20% is thrown to the counties, who use as much as they want, and then whatever is left over comes to the cities as a whole. So what comes from Flint will eventually go to Grand Blanc, will go to Clio, wherever else. Flint is getting near nil.
So see, like we the growth spot.
Mhm.
And they the pushers. And we giving them all our money. And that's not right. But we have to demand respect. Or they gonna keep doing stuff to us like this. Sister Audrey, any last words?
No, ma'am. Come visit us.
Come visit
We
you.
would love to have you to visit us. You heard the times. Our main meetings are Sunday at 11.
Mhm.
That's our Sunday address. And then we
Okay.
have those 2 study groups that happen on Wednesday and Friday at 7:30.
Okay.
Address is 1417 Stevenson at the corner of Stevenson and DuPont, the
At-
old Prince of Peace Church.
All right. Brother Minister.
And I want to say,
Oh,
while we on
yes,
here,
sir.
I want to thank Pastor Hawkins.
Yes.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying, for giving us that opportunity and helping us in that situation. We
Yes.
greatly appreciate that, brother.
Yes.
Got a whole building now. That's good. That's beautiful that you can call your own. And I'm glad about that. I
And
really am.
just to put on, to let people know that during startup of school, we will be having a coat giveaway.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We're going to have free back to school haircuts.
Really?
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So we gon'
So you really not just talking to talk. The nation really gonna be out here in the community.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, thank you,
I promise
thank
we
you.
will.
I can go to the haircut event now.
Oh, yeah, you can.
I didn't cut off all that long hair.
Yes, ma'am.
Brother LaRon, I thank you so much. Brother Minister, I'm sorry, Minister LaRon. Um, thank you so much for answering the call and coming.
Oh, I'm anytime, sister. Anytime.
Okay, okay.
Any-
Don't now you don't
Anytime.
know about me. I will call you every week.
I thank
Yes, sir.
I thank you for having us.
No,
You know what I'm
no
saying?
problem.
We really appreciate it.
Any last words to the community?
Let's stop the violence and let's just get back to black people speaking to each other.
Yeah,
When we out in public, how you doing, brother? How you doing, sister? Just speak.
just speak.
We gotta stop, frowning up at each other, mean mugging each other. Just say how you doing, brother? How you doing, sister? And that's a start. You know, the
Okay.
children, the youth.
Yeah,
How you doing, little brother? How you doing, little sister? We're a family, and we just got to get back to just speaking to each other.
absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
you know.
Love one another. Right. And we got to get that information from you for that book because Shardy said that he wants the information for the book. Shardy, you read a lot. So once I get the information from you, I will post it on A10's news media group page for you, Shardy.
Can I say one more thing? I just want to
Well, then I'm
restate.
gonna have him say
No,
something
no,
else
it's just,
again.
and
No,
he
no,
can say,
I'm just messing with
no,
you,
no,
Sister
and he
Audrey.
can say it actually with me. So this is for our late folks that came on here.
Uh-huh.
Today is the birth anniversary, the 90th birth anniversary of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Yes.
Please, please just keep him in your prayers. And we just would like to say it once again. Happy
Absolutely.
birth anniversary to the Honorable Minister Louis
That's right.
Farrakhan.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely. So thank you both for coming on. Thank you out there, and everyone out there in TV land. Oh, I always want to say that in TV land for tuning in to the Wyntis Hall Show. We'll be back tomorrow at 12 p.m. for Trevor's rant, and then tomorrow afternoon. What Trevor said? Oh, okay, yeah, I thought he was waving. But tomorrow afternoon at 5 p.m. we have a presidential candidate that has reached out to ATN News Media Group that wants to come onto the platform and talk. We're going to talk to him. He's a Republican candidate, which makes no difference to me because it don't seem like anybody one side or the other doing anything spectacular. So we're just going to go ahead. We're going to talk to him tomorrow. So please tune in. Tomorrow I will get that information for the book from Brother LaRon and put it on social media. One more question for Brother LaRon. If somebody wanted to reach out to you and talk to you, because I know your middleman got a middleman, how can we get to Brother LaRon?
Well, I mean, they can call. They can call me.
Call the mosque.
Well, at right now, the phone hasn't been set up, but we'll get that. But if it's something, they can call me.
Oh, well, it costs us the Adrian to get to you. Huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they.
I have my number.
Right,
You can call me
right.
when
We
you
got
get to Brother
sister.
LaRon.
Because Brother LaRon, he's struggling with Facebook right now. I'm going to help him with that. I told him I'm going to help him with the Facebook and the social media because he's struggling with that. Soon y'all going to see him popping everywhere. But thank you both for joining us this evening. And we'll be on tomorrow at 12 o'clock. And thank you. See you